What if everything you've been struggling with, self-sabotage, chronic stress, anxiety, emotional pain, wasn't a flaw, but a message calling you back to your true self? Welcome to Self-Healing Codes with Dr. Traci, where we uncover the hidden causes of spiritual disconnection and guide you home to yourself. Traci is a doctor of metaphysical psychology, spiritual mentor, energy healer, and your transformational guide. This show isn't just self-help, it's a sacred space to break free from the unseen forces keeping you stuck. You'll learn to decode the messages from your body, release fear, and activate your inner power. Healing requires action, and you don't have to do it alone. Get ready, because Self-Healing Codes starts now.
Welcome to Self-Healing Codes. I am Traci Trimble, your doctor of metaphysical psychology. And in this episode, which I like to call a session, we're going to be talking about the metaphysical energy of clarity. When people come to see me, whether they are a student, I'm teaching a class, they are a patient, we are doing psychic surgery, generational trauma deprogramming, or they're a client, they've joined a course, a class, or a program, almost consistently, every single person that I ask, why did you book this session? They say to me that they want clarity. And so when I decided that I wanted to use clarity as an activation for today, it isn't how it usually came up. Normally, I would sit in a meditative state, Source would channel to me what our download was going to be. But today, I wanted clarity, not just for you guys, but for me as well. It seems that clarity is a mental, or let's change that. The lack of clarity is mental confusion. And I want to let you know right now that that's not true. A lack of clarity is actual spiritual disconnection. The confusion comes because our bodies don't feel grounded or present in our timeline. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what that means. But the lack of clarity also happens because we're not open to giving and receiving from flow. We're in a state of force. Something has to happen right now in order for something else to happen and then something after that to happen. That creates a lack of clarity. But also the spiritual disconnection as a human disease tends to chew clarity up and spit it out. So let's talk about those three pieces: grounded, open, and connected. When I was making my notes for today, I realized that we don't lose clarity. We don't find our clarity. We have to be in a position of allowing it. Clarity is taken away from us when we're confined to a really short-term vision. This is an exercise that I often do in person, so I hope that it translates here online. But imagine that you can sit in a singular space and you can look around the whole room. And everywhere that you look, you can inventory and see a whole bunch of different things. So for example, if I asked you to do that task and to list 25 things that you could see, it would be really simple to do that because we have the clarity or the ability to vision everything around us. But what happens when that clarity is taken from us, our external vision, our internal vision gets contracted. So let's imagine that you're going to take your hand, and you're going to place it as a fist, but you're going to recognize that there is a hole on each end of your fist. Closing one eye, Placing your fist with the clenched fingers, I want you to look at me through that lens. And you'll notice that it's a very small space. This is what happens when we get stressed out, when we aren't able to pay attention to the inner emotion, when we're caught up in the expectation of others. We get stuck in this really small visual space. Now, go back to that space if you've left it, and I want you just to find my face, and I want you to look at me with your eye closed through that little hole. And I want you to tell me 5 things that you see that don't include me. And in that, you're going to look at that without moving at all. There's going to be a very limited number of things that you can see that aren't me. But if you begin to open that fist, things become more clear. As you move that hand away and open the second eye, there are many other things that you can see. As you start to look around, the possibilities open up of what you could add to that list. I want you to imagine this is the challenge with a lack of clarity. What happens is when we can't see the potential or the possibilities, we lock ourselves in to that contracted space that begins to control and compel us. And in those spaces, we feel stuck. We feel like there isn't enough. This is the experience of lack. We're unable to make decisions, often because there are too many things that we have to decide on. Clarity, again, is not something that we find. It's something that we allow. And it isn't from the outside of us that lack of clarity is expressed or experienced. This is where tools and techniques like breath work, like meditation, like sitting still, going within, become extremely powerful. We release ourselves from the control of our external circumstances when we're able to breathe fully, when we are able to move our body with freedom. This is where I want to circle back to how we opened today's session, teaching you about grounding, opening, and connecting. Being present on your timeline in this moment is going to be grounding. We do this by finding our breath. We want to do it instantaneously. This can happen by going out into Mother Earth, our feet in the grass, bare feet especially, allows that energy to channel up. When we're not grounded, we feel like a kite who has no string. We're flying all over the place. Grounding allows us to get present with ourselves, and it's going to happen through the breath. While this isn't a breathwork session, I want you just to take a few minutes to experience what it feels like for your body to have clarity. This comes through being able to sit still for a moment, being able to have a space in which you feel safe. This happens because we can anchor down. In metaphysics, we very often will navigate someone through this breath by asking you to take a deep, gentle inhalation through your nose and holding it for a moment. This brings your conscious awareness to your physical body. So your unconscious ability to simply breathe, to stay alive, is broken for just that moment as you hold your breath with awareness, your attention comes back to your body. But as you exhale through your mouth and you imagine your breath traveling down your spine, you're bringing clarity to the present moment. This present moment awareness excuses us from being caught up in other people's thoughts, feelings, experiences, and expectations. And so let's try that together. You're in a comfortable position. Your ankles and your knees aren't locked over. If you want to close your eyes, that helps the internalization of grounding even deeper. Taking a deep inhalation through the nose, holding it long enough for you to be aware of every part of your body constricting, tightening. And as you exhale through the mouth, you're softening your shoulders, your belly and your back, your legs. All of a sudden, the world around you isn't moving so fast. Your thoughts aren't controlling your every moment. And your body is able to regulate itself without feeling like you're sabotaging it. This grounded energy, if we want to speak metaphysically, is about anchoring ourselves to our timeline, being present in the moment and being held by earth energy. When we're consciously aware that Mother Earth has the ability to hold our energy, and with intention, we can ground ourselves into that, it creates a moment of clarity, a pausing of everything that's moving so quickly around us. I wouldn't take this as far as calling it a meditation, nor would I call it breath work. However, the combination of closing your eyes, quietly being aware of your breath and your imagination, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, this is medicine. And it's often taught in the form of breath work and meditation. So let's try that for just a couple of minutes. We're going to close our eyes again. We're going to take a deep, gentle inhalation through the nose. We're going to hold that energy for just a few moments. And as we exhale, we're going to drop into a deeper truth, a present moment awareness. And you're going to do that a couple of times, bringing yourself back into alignment with right now, releasing the congestion from your energy field, and gathering awareness from within you instead of from outside of you. On your next inhalation, I'm going to ask you to breathe up into the center of your chest. In metaphysics, this sacred energy is called sacred heart. As a chakra, it is heart center. This is the space where soul resides. And as you imagine breathing in and filling your chest, you're filling yourself full of love. And as you exhale, you can imagine that your breath goes out behind the back of your shoulder blades or the front of your chest. This is a release. When we open the energetic flow from our heart center, we inhale love and we exhale forgiveness. It even has a physical flow to it. So on the inhale, you can imagine opening your chest, spreading your arms out beside you. And as you exhale, rounding your spine, pushing your shoulder blades away, releasing any stagnant energy, that blocks you from clear thought and clear feeling. As you breathe in and out of that heart center, not only does it clear the fog, it resets your bioenergetic field. And it's from here that you can tune into your truth. You can let everything outside and around you go. It's also one of the most beautiful benefits of the technique of closing your eyes. When we close our eyes and we use our imagination to follow our breath up and down our spine or in and out of specific chakras, we're attuning our attention. We're bringing clarity to spaces within our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energy that likely have a message for us. And so you've grounded to earth energy, you've opened your heart, and now I'm going to ask you to take a deep, gentle inhalation up to the very top of your head. And if it's possible, bring awareness to a warm, tingling sensation beneath your scalp. Physically, this is the blood circulating beneath your hairline. This is your physical life force energy. But metaphysically, this is source, universal life force energy asking to be invited into your field. And so when we connect to that source energy, we're able to start asking questions. We've grounded the body. We're present in the moment. Nothing outside of us is controlling and compelling us anymore. We've opened the heart center to make a space, a fifth dimensional tube of light all around us. And as we connect directly to source, as sovereign beings, we're inviting source to flow through us with messages, with awareness, with clarity. And this is how we become empowered. So as you inhale, give yourself permission to be connected to this source energy. And as you exhale, prepare to ask a question. These questions should always start with a what or a how. We rarely want to ask why. Energetically, when you ask why, that energy needs to find you. No matter what question you're asking, that energy needs to find you. When we ask why am I so angry? People, places, things, scenes, situations, and scenarios that are built from anger need to find you so you can figure out why. My favorite and most simple question is, what do I need to know right now? Now, we are in a 20-minute segment that may not be enough time to find that clarity. But if you give yourself permission to do this practice, finding a safe and comfortable space, intending to just breathe, starting by using your breath to ground you down into Mother Earth, to be present in the moment on your timeline, not influenced by others. Using your breath to open the center of your heart to love and the back of your shoulder blades to forgiveness, just breathing in and out until you feel that release. And then connecting directly to source, asking your question, what do I need to know right now? And as you breathe and you receive clarity and you allow yourself to have an aha moment, you begin to clear the fog, to reset your energy field and to align with your truth. If we each did this for 90 seconds every morning as soon as we woke up, and for 90 seconds every night before we went to bed, we would unpack everything we carried during the day that does not serve us. And we would start the day fresh in an empowering way. This is the kind of work that we do in the Healing Sanctuary. The Healing Sanctuary is my membership community. It's where I teach metaphysics, where we activate our power through breath work, much like this, and where we support one another in being in alignment with our truth. If this is something that you're looking for, an expert spiritual guide, a community of like-minded others, and a way to activate your power to be in alignment with clarity, then I invite you to join us there. And in the meantime, while we have a few minutes left, I'd like to coach you back into that space of clarity, and I'd like to download the frequency and vibration of this self-healing code into your energy centers. So if you have not gotten yourself out of eyes closed, following your breath, seated in a safe and comfortable way, then we'll begin. Let's start with an exhalation that moves all the way down your spine into your pelvic floor. And as you breathe in and out of your pelvic floor, you're giving your body permission to release. You're aligning to the present moment. You are grounded. Your metaphysical roots are strong, they're thick, and they're deep. From this place of safety, security, and support, you're going to inhale and pull that energy up into the center of your chest. Imagine that you're opening your heart center at the front of the body on an inhalation. And you're opening your body at the back of heart on an exhalation. On your next inhale, you'll bring your breath and awareness to the very top of your head, a warm tingling sensation. And it's here that I'll ask you to simply follow my voice. As an energy worker, I'm asking Source to channel the true frequency and vibration of clarity as a sensation and as an experience. And as you exhale, imagine that a seed is being planted at the center of your forehead, deep inside your mind, into your pineal. And it's here that the energy of clarity is being received. And with your permission as an energy worker, we're going to clear the old filters, the old ways of thinking, the habits and the beliefs that in moments of stress have forced you to go outside of you for answers, and instead use this seed of clarity as a magnet to clear your mind. As you exhale, that energy of clarity drops into the center of your chest. Each inhale is the opportunity to receive clarity, to allow this energy to melt away any sadness, any grief, any indecision, And as you exhale and you drop into your biome just below your belly button, imagining that you are anchoring clarity into your physical experience. Here we release the second guessing and we align to the true vibration of your gut, a trust in your own self. Here, we allow every cell within your being to release from all of your organs the ways in which being unclear has controlled and compelled you in the past. Taking a deep, gentle inhalation, you'll exhale and allow clarity to begin to expand all around you, from front to back, from right to left, from top to bottom. And you are now surrounded in a high vibrating ball of energy that is filled with clarity. Giving yourself permission to stay here as long as you need to. As an energy worker, I ask Source to hold space for you as you begin to bank enormous amounts of clarity into every cell of your being. On an inhalation, I'm going to ask you to give thanks in any way that you need to for everything that you have received. As always, if you have any questions, concerns, or ideas, please feel free to join me in my Facebook group called Self-Healing Codes with Dr. Traci. Make sure that you tag me if you have any questions, and I will get back to you. If you'd like to be a part of a community that in any given moment you have this support, I ask you to come find me in the Healing Sanctuary. Let's move our body in any way that we need to release the downloaded energy. And I'm going to ask you to give yourself permission. Truly decide that it is your absolute right for clarity, and to remember that that clarity will never come from outside, that you require a calm space where you are grounded, open, and connected. Until next week, I wish you the most beautiful of times, and for my American friends, happy 4th of July.
You've been listening to the Self-Healing Codes with Dr. Traci on Transformation Talk Radio. Join Dr. Traci every first and third Friday at 9:30 Pacific for this portal of transformation, where truth is spoken, healing is activated, and souls remember who they truly are. Don't forget to subscribe and connect to her on Facebook at The Self-Healing Codes with Dr. Traci. Ready to take the next step? Explore healing sessions, activations, certifications, and her daily spiritual practice membership at tracitrimble.ca. Heal, remember, rise. Your journey starts now.